This video is a recreation of a presentation about the California Mobilization Stress Prevention Program. This presentation was given in 2003 at the 11th Annual Combat Stress Conference in Camp Pendleton, California. This stress control program was under the direction of Dr. Stephen Wyman, Brigadier General and Special Assistant to the Adjutant General for Medical Readiness in the California Army National Guard. The presenter is me, Guy Lemunyan, Army Psych Mental Health Nurse. The research design for this is by Dr. Sheila Dominguez, Colonel and Deputy State Surgeon in the California Army National Guard. The goals of this pilot research is 1, prevention of acute combat stress, 2, to prevent dysfunctional combat stress behaviors, which may include homicide, fratricide, torture, brutality, mutilations, rape, looting, desertion, and sick call abuse. 3, prevention of long-term consequences such as PTSD. 4, the development of a soldier-oriented stress scale. And 5, to contribute to the body of knowledge on combat stress. The research assumptions were available current civilian measures do not consider the unique needs of soldiers. The annual AMC screening does not consider psychosocial stressors. 3, a unique soldier-oriented stress scale is necessary. 4, frequent mobilizations provide adequate subjects for development of a soldier-oriented instrument. And 5, human subjects committee review is necessary. The methods include literature review, the study of available stress instruments, which were civilian-oriented. 3, the development of a soldier-oriented stress scale to be presented here. And 5, field testing, a pilot survey. The stress scale developed included 23 questions for pre-deployment and 24 post-deployment questions. The site for this pilot study is Camp Roberts in Central California. Total numbers mobilized for combat during 2003 as of this time included 3,800 California Guard personnel, all services in California, 13,500 and 234,000 citizen soldiers mobilized nationwide. Research results from the first group surveyed. So it was a total of 439 soldiers. 9% were referred for further assessment, and 1 was evaluated for a no-go. In the second group, a smaller number, 270, were screened. 34% were referred for a further assessment, and 16% were found to be no-goes. The reason for the difference, we surmise, is more media exposure, and the consent form had been changed to be less restrictive. I'm going to talk about the clinical application of this pilot study. And in comparison to the Vietnam War, we're making efforts to change in a positive manner. During the Vietnam War, you could be in the jungle in 1 day and home in 3 days with no debriefing at all. The clinical application includes a 3-level assessment. 1 is the stress scales, 2 includes a mid-level review, which I'll explain, and 3 is psychiatrist consultation. This is similar to our annual medical certification, which is unique to the National Guard, where the first level screening is by medics, the second level screening is by PAs, Army nurses and nurse practitioners, and the final level is by medical doctors, that's medical corps officers. The stress scale developed and presented here was used for soldier readiness processing. Soldiers with high stress scores were referred for mid-level assessments by PhDs, social workers, and Army nurses. This is a Likert scale 1 to 5, and we also had yes, no responses on the scale. First part of the scale is the family section. 1, satisfaction with current living situation. 2, emotional support. 3, family coping. 4, how families will get their needs met. 5, does the family know where to get help? And 6, child care arrangements. The second section is how the soldier feels about their Army training. Do they like their Army job? Feel competent in their MOS? Think their skills are being utilized? Do they enjoy the National Guard? How do they think they'll cope with the deployment? And do they think they've been trained enough to survive in the field? The next section is economic concerns about employment and the ability to return to employment after mobilization, satisfaction with income during mobilizations, availability of emergency savings, and the dependents' access to finances during the deployment. And the final section is the stress section, asking about recent marital difficulties, recent deaths, legal actions, job problems, recent marriages, recent moving or pending pregnancy or birth. All surveys were reviewed by medical NCO, and any with the pattern of high responses, that's threes and fours, or yes on stress factors, were referred to the exam team. Mid-level assessment was to determine for faking good, and we did have people with 30 to 40% disability ratings by the VA wanting to deploy. And conversely, we did have malingerers faking bad to avoid deployment, including one claiming suicidal ideations at the stress site. We tried to implement problem solving for psychosocial stressors and refer soldiers with true pathology. The psychiatric evaluations were to determine mobilization status, that's go, no go, to revise the profile on S for psychiatric, and refer for a med board if indicated. So I hope this has been helpful. A PowerPoint can be downloaded for this, and I've included my email for further information. Thank you for listening.